Alyssa with Mind Beauty Talk. I wanted to talk to you about spider webs, and you're like, why are you talking about spider webs? Why am I even talking about spiders? Well, there's something that came to my attention yesterday when I was watching a spider in its web at the salon. It was in the corner, and normally I'm like all about getting it out of there and getting all the spider webs out, but I was just watching this little spider in a web, and I was just thinking, I tried envisioning myself as a spider in my own web as like, the web is my life. And I was thinking, oh my God. And I was starting to connect the dots like, holy crap, like our life is a web that we created. And now knowing all of this and how this works, how law of attraction works, and gratitude and the feeling that you put out and your thoughts and your actions and your behaviors and living in your past, I really was starting to connect the dots. Like I was living in my own spider web that I created for myself while blaming others for the web that I created. And think of this web as your thoughts and your behaviors and your actions and how you feel about yourself and how you react to people and just everything. Think of this entire web as your life. And you have nobody to blame but yourself for creating that web. And I was just trying to think for myself, oh my gosh, like why didn't we know this? We're all freaking spiders. So I was telling myself, I'm like, I need to tell you guys, I need to tell everyone that, you are literally creating your own web. That is your life. And you're just walking in it. You're walking in your own web. And I know you guys are really familiar with No Doubt, and she sang a song of spider webs, and that played in my head over and over and over again, thinking about this. And I mean, we're blaming everybody for walking in a web that we created for ourselves, and it's unbelievably bizarre and insane. And I mean, it's ludicrous. We're creating this web for ourselves on a daily basis and think of this web as, you're living in your past, you're thinking in your past and you're feeling in your past and you're recreating your past every single day. Well, this is your web and you're creating the same web over and over again, but you're also walking in the same web that you have your whole life because you weren't aware that you were creating this spider web for yourself. And you are continuing to blame others for the web that you've created, and you're not taking responsibility for what is on your spider web. And you are continuing to play the victim in your own story, which means you're playing a victim of your own web. Well, it's time that we take responsibility for our own spider web. Fellow spiders, you have to really look at yourself as a spider. You have created this web for yourself, and you're walking in it as we speak. You're walking in everything you've ever created, how you've acted towards other, your behaviors, your actions, what you've done in your life, everything that you've done, how you've thought about others is how you're thinking for yourself. So of course, you're going to get that back. But here you are thinking that, oh no, that doesn't mean anything. How I feel about others doesn't do anything to me. Well, it does so much to you. How you feel for others is how you feel for yourself. And you put that out and you're going to get that right back. So you could go on and on and on and say, this person ruined my life. This person this person did this. They caused this. They made me this way. Blah, 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 blah. I did it. I had my own web and I created it for myself and I lived in it and I walked in it and I blamed others for creating that web for me. And I didn't realize that I was merely just looking at myself all the time and blaming others as playing a victim in my own story. And I decided to not be a victim in my own story anymore. And I am now recreating a web of what I want in my own life. Like I'm creating a web that, is different. I now know better. I know that my thoughts create my reality. How I feel creates my reality, and my behavior and my own actions are going to come back to me. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You are creating this web. Just kind of bear with me, kind of just humor me. You are a spider and you have created this huge web of so much crap. Everything that you've caught in that web is your responsibility, and you have to clean it up yourself mentally, really, not physically, because physically we really can't go out and fix everything because we can't. It's not even possible. But mentally, you're creating this web for yourself, and you've created it your whole life you weren't aware that you were creating this web. And I mean, you weren't even aware that you were a spider. Hell, I wasn't even aware that I was a spider myself. But you're this spider, and everything that you've created through your thoughts and how you felt about yourself, which you've thought about others and felt about others, and your actions and what you've done in your whole life is your entire web. And everything that has that's caught in your web from your actions and your behaviors and your thoughts and your feelings is in your own web, and it comes back to you. But here you are blaming others for this web that you created for yourself. And do you think the spider blames others? I mean, he could, I don't know, they could actually blame others for their web, but I don't think they do. You know, they take responsibility for their own webs. And do you notice that they clean it up and then they actually create a new one? It's kind of gross actually thinking about that. But anywho, kind of, you know, bear with me, humor me. You are creating this web, okay? Everything that you're attracting to your web is your responsibility. What you've attracted is your responsibility. What you've created is your responsibility. You need to take responsibility for your life. You need to take responsibility for what you've done and your actions and your behaviors and your thoughts and your feelings. You need to take responsibility for everything that you've done in this lifetime. We cannot play the victim in our own story and think that we're going to have joy and happiness within. We will not feel that for ourselves until we actually feel what we've neglected our whole lives. This web that you've created, you're recreating from your past, okay? There is a past version of you that you're recreating every single day, and you're not aware of it. And the only reason you're not aware of it is because you were never told to be aware of it, because you've been playing this victim and blaming others for why you are the way you are and why you have what you have and why you've had the experiences and everything happen and all this type of stuff, but you've never taken responsibility of your own. You've never actually said thank you to yourself. You've never been grateful for your experiences that shaped you into who you are right now. You haven't even felt grateful for the life you're living right now in this present moment. So you are not taking responsibility for the life that you've created for yourself, which is truly incredible and it's phenomenal. You've been given this beautiful gift, and you're taking it for granted by blaming others for what's happened to you. You're taking others for granted as well. Think of it this way, because if you've watched my videos before, then you know that how you see others is how you see yourself. How you feel for yourself is how you feel, like how you feel for others is how you feel for yourself. And everything that you think about others is how you think about yourself. So merely everything you're looking at right now is a mirror. It's merely a reflection of how you feel for yourself. So there's really nobody to blame. But if these people come into your reality, if you attract these people, it is for a reason. And how you feel for yourself is what you put out. It's energy. And then everything that you get back is because you feel that way already. And you're just attracting and matching that vibration and energy to come into your reality to make you feel that way, the way you already do right now. So this is just energy trying to get out. This is emotions trying to get out. You have deep inner child wounds that you've neglected. They're trying to come out to the surface by all these people coming to your reality. You're creating this for yourself, for your own personal revolution, for your own inner joy and your own inner happiness that you need to remember for yourself. All these people are just coming into your reality to help you, but you're taking them for granted because you're taking yourself for granted. If you actually kind of looked at your life as a spider web that you've created for yourself, you would look back and realize that everything that you have done has created your life. The feelings that you put out, the stuff you went through as a child did affect your life. It really did. And it still is affecting your life because you have not attended to those wounds. Those wounds are on your spider web right as we speak. Okay? They're on your spider web. And those wounds are just inner emotions that are neglected. And those inner emotions are attracting the same energy all the freaking time in your web. And you're neglecting that. You're not feeling what you're supposed to feel to heal it and let it go. Now this could be off the wall on a spider web, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Your life is the web. You are the spider, and you really want to make sure that you are aware of your life and you're aware of what you're creating and how you're creating it through your mind. and your feelings. However you're feeling inside for yourself is going to come out in your reality and other people and experiences, because you feel that way, and then you are attracting and matching the same energy to make you feel the exact same way to get out of your body, because energy must flow. If you're not very aware of your own energy and that everything around you is energy, then you're not aware of yourself, because you are energy and you must flow. Energy has to flow. So if you are still holding on to your past, which is inner child wounds from your childhood, you're very wounded and you're very hurt, and you are neglecting that. You're not really accepting any of that from your past, which is going to make your life way harder every single day, because you're creating your past by the emotions deep down that you're neglecting inside. And if we don't take responsibility for how we act, how we feel, and how we think, the words you say are so very, very powerful. You are just making spells all day long by how you talk to others, how you talk to yourself, what you write down, and how you think and how you feel. You're writing spells. That's all you're doing. It's why it's called spelling, because it's just spells. Those words are so powerful. When you say certain words, you'll notice that you feel a certain way. Well, when you say good words like love, oh, doesn't that feel amazing? When you say, I love you, your body vibes so high. Have you ever noticed when someone says, I love you, you get like, these good chills? Well, that's your body vibrating super high. That is living a state of gratitude. Love is the highest vibration you can get. It's so high. So when you say certain words like thank you, that makes you feel really good, right? Someone says thank you, that's because they're very positive words. Whatever you say that's positive makes you feel really good. That's because those are very powerful words. Every word you say is powerful. If you say words that are really bad and they don't make you feel good, like they just don't resonate with you and they kind of make you feel low, don't say them, because that comes back to you. Everything that you say and you think and how you feel will come back to you. It's just energy matching energy. So what you need to do before I leave and end this video, you need to look back on your life. I'm not saying go back there, because nobody wants to revisit their past, but there is going to be one day that you are going to have to sit and everything that has ever been done to you and have ever done to anyone else, and you're going to have to sit with it and accept it and forgive everything from your past in order to let it go and not live in it anymore. Until that day comes, I just want you to reflect, and I want you to look back on your life and what you've done and what you've neglected and what is reoccurring in your life in this present moment, because everything that you've ever done in your life is still with you, because you've neglected it and you have not taken responsibility for it. You haven't even accepted it. Now, think of it this way. You're an amazing vibrational being. You really are. You are true love and light. That's what you are. You came here not with anything negative, and then you accumulated a bunch of negative energy in your childhood, and you still are, from other people projecting their inner wounds around you, which is why you're not aware of your own energy, because you're not protecting it, and you're not protecting it, and you're not setting a barrier around yourself when you're around others. You are around others every single day that are projecting their inner child wounds, which is negative energy all the time. And then it can become you if you're not aware of it. It is just energy matching energy. When you get around someone and you're in a really good mood and all of a sudden you get really low and you start having really negative thoughts, well, that's because their energy is getting to you. You're absorbing their negative energy. That's the way it works. But if you are not aware of how you are reacting to others, because when we triggers are just our friends. You look at triggers as so bad. Like, triggers are bad. I hate my triggers. They're so annoying, blah, 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 blah. Well, your triggers are messengers. When somebody comes into your reality and somebody comes up to you and they piss you off, you look at someone and you just get pissed off. You really think it's them pissing you off? Like, what are they doing to you that's really pissing you off? They said something that you don't agree with. They do something that you don't agree with because you don't live that way. Like, really think about that, because if you feel a certain way for someone else, that has nothing to do with that other person. That is pure you. That is your own inner emotions that are being projected to somebody else, and you're blaming them for how you feel. Well, they didn't do anything to you. You already feel like that. They feel the same way about themselves, and they're coming into your reality to make you feel that way, so you learn how to feel and heal through your triggers, but you're not aware of how you're feeling. So there's no way for you to know this, because you're just going to continue to react to others like they're doing this to you. They're making you feel this way. They're making you feel like shit, and they are making your life this way because, yeah, of course, they're the ones doing this. They're the ones to blame, right? No, you have been doing all of this on your own. You're creating this for yourself. Everything outside of you is a mirror. It is just you. You have no enemies. You have no competition. There's nobody outside of you out to get you. You are literally your worst enemy. You are in your own web. Your web of whatever you've put out and whatever you created. And it's time to take responsibility for it. It's time to accept it, and accept it for what it is. You made mistakes. We all do. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. You are perfectly imperfect. That is what you are. Nobody is perfect. We don't need to be perfect. We are flawed very perfectly. We have so many perfect flaws, and it makes you who you are. Everything you've gone through in your life has shaped you into the person you are right now. You should be thankful for all those experiences and every single person that came into your life, because if that person wouldn't have came into your life, you wouldn't have learned and you wouldn't have grown from it. And some people don't even grow from it because they sit in it and they never get out of it. And what you need to do is accept it. You need to be self-aware of what's happening in your life and what's happening around you. The people that come into your life is for a reason. The things you go through is for a reason. You just need to really embrace everything, struggles and trials and traumas and all that type of stuff. They're looked at it as really bad, but we learn from them. It's the only way we can grow from them, and we can't heal without them, by the way. A lot of people, we were taught how not to feel. Well, that is actually how you heal. You have to feel everything. All your pain comes to you for a reason. You do not understand that your pain comes when you're about to change, and you are just focused on your pain so much that it grows, because what you focus on grows. That is energy. You place your energy outside of you, and it grows and grows and becomes more real. You do not want to focus on your pain. You do not want to focus on anything that's negative. You want to really just embrace it and feel it, because if you don't feel it, you will not listen to what it has to tell you. These are messengers. You have neglected so many emotions, and you've accumulated throughout your entire life, and it is like a ticking time bomb. You will explode. And what happens is we explode in the times that we don't realize we're going to explode. Someone makes you mad they're driving a certain way that pisses you off. Seriously? I used to do it. Now when I drive, because I'm super mindful every single day, when somebody does something that I never used to agree with, I used to trigger really bad. And I was like, what a horrible person. They need to learn how to drive. They need to do this. Well, no, I look at it as, I can't change how they drive. I can't change what they're doing. I can change how I react to it. And then guess what? When I don't react to my own emotions, it's a game changer. When you react to your own emotions, that comes back to you, and then you become that emotion over and over and over. And it's not fun. It is a vicious negative cycle. If you can get out of this negative cycle, why wouldn't you? Do you really like waking up in the morning and feeling super negative? When I used to wake up in the morning, I could think of all the people that I used to blame for my life. Everybody. I'm not going to start naming people, because I have a lot of people in this group. And if I name someone, you guys are probably someone's going to be like, oh, why would you blame someone? Well, it's called the blame game. You are playing a victim in your own story by blaming others when it's you that's creating your own story. You don't realize that you've been creating and recreating over and over and over again. If you could pick up the pen and start writing a different story, if you could take responsibility for that web you created, clean it up and heal it and recreate a new one, wouldn't you? That's something you should ask yourself right now. Say, I want to pick up the pen. I want to start writing a new story. I want to be my own author. I want to write a new chapter. I want to turn the page. It feels so good to be self-aware and start focusing on yourself and realize you did everything to yourself. Not aware. You were so unaware of what you were doing because you have been running and recreating your past over and over again. That's why you're doing the same things. You're attracting the same people with the same personalities. You're attracting everything. You're doing everything over and over again. It's just you don't realize it because you've been living in your past for so long. And it's time to get out of your past. You know, you've been a spider. You're a spider, okay? I'm just going to say it. I'm a spider too. This web that you created for yourself has so many consequences for you, not anybody else. This is just for you. If somebody does something, if they react a certain way to you, that's going to go back to them. Seriously, that's all it is. If they feel a certain way for you, if they're mad at you, they feel that for themselves. It has nothing to do with you, okay? Now, you get mad at so many others, but you don't realize that you're just really angry inside. You're just super angry. You're lonely, you're angry, and you're sad. And you're scared and you're afraid. And this is your inner child. This inner child is something that you have just dug really deep. And it's time for you to sit. And it's time for you to heal your inner child. Sit in your inner child sitting in a dark, dark room deep down below. And it's waiting for you to come save yourself. It's time for you to come save yourself. You have waited for somebody to come save you your whole life. You've been looking outside of you for a hero. But it's time to be your own hero. It's time to save yourself. So what you need to do is become self-aware. And I invite you, if you trigger from this video, I invite you to feel whatever pops up and comes to the surface. Those are your own emotions. And those emotions are really trying to help you. They're just messengers. Accept it for what it is. How you feel inside for yourself is just something that's accumulated. And all that negative energy that you took on, like the baggage that was never yours in the first place, it became you. There's nothing you can do about it now. In order to change it, you have to feel what you've ignored and you need to heal it so you can let it go. So, fellow spiders, you know, you've created this web for far too long and you've been walking in it. It's time to accept it. It's time to clean it up and it's time to let it go. And then you can recreate a new one just for you, a life that you desire for you and only you, that will help you and your family and your loved ones. Because when we send out love to everybody, even our enemies, it comes back to us. If we send out hate and anger and sadness, it comes back to us. So think about that, because you have this web that you created very long time ago that you're still walking in and you're not taking responsibility for it. And it's time to accept it, take responsibility for it, pick up the pen and change it yourself.